Welcome to the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. This show contains adult content, so if you are under 18 or easily offended, please switch off now. Mr. and Mrs. N are not qualified relationship counsellors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Now the disclaimer is out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy our journey from Vanilla to Vixen.
Welcome to episode 146 of Vanilla to Vixen. We are your hosts, Mr. and Mrs. N, and we're also sometimes known as
the Naughty Couple.
Hello, Mrs. N.
Hello, Mr. N.
Welcome, everybody, to 146th episode of just pure filth and silliness. We have been out this week.
We went on a little road trip, didn't we?
We've done a social with our good friends, Town and Country.
Yes.
Sir John and Lady La.
Yes, we did.
And they took us out to a country fair.
What a spiffing day it was, dear.
I have never felt so country gentry in my life. I'm not Mr. N anymore. I am Squire N. Sir N.
You felt very at home, didn't you?
Oh, I've never seen so much tweed in my life. Oh, it was amazing. I did shooting, we did bow and arrows.
You had a bit of archery, didn't you?
Yes. There was a man dressed up as a Viking.
Yes.
And doing all historical things. I went and asked if he could teach me pillaging. That didn't go down very well. Yes. I went to the bow and arrows and I said, I want to be Robin Hood. I want to rob from the rich and, well, just keep it, really. Just rob from the rich.
Yes, apparently you were a natural, weren't you?
Yeah, he said I was natural with the bow and arrow. I felt like one of the Duke boys, from Dukes of Hazzard.
Did you?
Yeah, I was living the dream.
There was a little bit of competitiveness there, though, wasn't there?
Do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Sir John beat me at shooting.
He did.
He beat me at shooting by about two or 3 points.
2 points.
Yes.
2 points.
And of course, Lady La is very competitive herself.
She is.
But it got down to me and Sir John, and there was about 2 points in it, and he beat me at shooting. That was it. I was mortified.
You needed to redeem yourself, didn't you?
So then, I never fired a bow. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And when we went on honeymoon,
yes,
we had archery in the hotel.
Yes, they did.
51 weeks of the year, the bloody week we went.
He didn't have it.
Robin Hood had sodded off and took his bow with him.
Oh.
Now, I've got a little joke for you here.
Okie dokie.
That has been sent in to me, and it's a bit of a political one.
Oh, gosh, okay.
Okay.
Shall I apologise now to the listeners?
You might as well, really.
Please don't complain.
So, Angela Rayner and Rachel Reeves, allegedly, are chatting in number 10.
Okay.
And Angela Rayner says, I slept with a Brazilian. And Rachel Reeves replies, oh my God, you dirty slut. How many is a Brazilian? A little bit of politics there for you.
I've got a joke.
Oh.
If I'm allowed to say.
Sure, podcast as much as mine.
Okay. I know, but this is your segment.
No.
And we all know that the listeners love your bad jokes.
Equal shares, equal opportunity scheme, and all that.
Okay, so it's only a little joke. 2 fleas on a fanny.
Right.
One's a druggie.
One's a druggie.
And the other one's a burglar.
Right.
How can you tell which one's which?
I don't know.
So the druggie's sniffing the crack and the burglar's hiding in the bush.
Oh my God.
Oh, that tickled me, that did.
Oh my goodness me. Who Was that sent in to you, or did you just find that one?
It may have come via TikTok.
Okay. We've also had an email sent in this week. So this is from Mrs. Belafonte.
All right.
Right, okay. Mrs. Belafonte sent this in, and she said, I would dearly love to come to one of your events, but she lives right the other side of the country, and so she says, I really, really want to come.
Oh.
Bless her. So we hope we can see her one day at an event.
Yeah, I hope so.
We've got people that travel all over the place.
Yes.
So, yes.
Listen, if we can get people from America.
Exactly, for one night. So,
yes.
yeah, we hope. She says, Dear Mr. N.
Oh.
Okay, Mr. N. Just Mr.
you.
N. Just Mr. N.
Right.
Following on from your prisons
Oh, no.
and boating incidents. It wasn't really an incident. I don't think it got as far as an incident.
I don't know. The
An afternoon on the phone with the Coast Guard.
I was going to say the Coast Guard might have thought it was a bit of an incident.
Yeah, we're still looking. She said, I have found you the perfect swinging venue. Are you ready?
Go on.
Okay. This is on rightmove.co.uk. A private island in the Scottish Highlands. At this stage, I was like, well, this is going to be silly, isn't it?
What, the Isle of Scilly?
No. That's too big. That's too big. A private island in the Scottish Highlands. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Price.
Yeah.
Offers over.
Yeah.
125,000.
For a whole island?
For a whole island in the Scottish. I'm like, right, get the house mortgaged. We're off. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's the spiel.
Go on.
Who hasn't dreamed of owning a private island? Well, buyers now have the rare opportunity to turn that dream into reality. I was like, you know when something's too good to be true?
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready? With Eileen Loch Oscar, I think that is. A secluded haven situated off the northwest coast of Lismore in Scotland. It's going to be freaking freezing.
It's the North Sea.
The North Sea, my willy will be inverted.
More than usual.
Oh. Picture the scene, just you, nature and breathtaking panoramic views of one of the least explored areas of the West Coast because it's so freaking cold. Okay, the island can support livestock. Some of our guests can be pretty wild. And homegrown produce.
Ooh.
Take a closer look.
Oh, God, go on.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's a little park.
It is a little... Oh, dear.
It's a little park in the middle of a bloody North Sea. And that's it. And it doesn't look very flat either.
Oh, blimey.
So, can you imagine, like... I mean...
It's a little bit remote, isn't it?
Are
they seals? Do you get to see the seals?
I don't know if they're seals. That there might be rocks or something. I don't know. But, so, yes... So that was...
Maybe we should just check this out with the cabin girl.
And...
It's her neck of the woods.
It's actually 9 acres.
Really?
9 acres. But it's not actually, to be precise, it's 9.98 acres.
Oh, okay.
But 9 acres of it are just bloody rock.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I might give that one a pass.
Oh.
Even though...
I got slightly excited then. Can you imagine having a V2V island?
Whole island.
A whole island for V2V.
The lowest clothing you're going to get down to there is like 3 layers.
Yeah, but there's a good way to keep warm.
Yeah, I've got to admit though, by the time you get down to like a second layer, I've struggled to find it. It's just ridiculous. It's not going to work. That's just silliness. But thank you very much, Mrs. Belafonte. I loved it.
Thank you. Keep the ideas coming.
Yes.
So, before we go on to the main part of the show...
The meat of the show this week, we have got a fabulous gentleman who came along to our Velvet Vixens event at Worcestershire.
Yes.
At Bewdley in Worcestershire. And he was totally new, never done anything like it in his life. And he's going to tell the experience right from the start, right through to the end.
Yes.
When I chased him away. I chased after him rather, and he ran away.
I didn't even have to groom him to do the podcast. He actually volunteered.
I know. I'm amazed he came back after what happened to him at Velvet Vixens. We will explain all
yes,
a little bit later on.
But before that, we just need to give you some details about up-and-coming events that are happening.
Absolutely.
So our next event is Saturday the 14th of June.
Yes.
And it is the V2V Sweet Treats Party.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
It is.
You're going to be horizontal or vertical for this one. You were horizontal last time.
I was horizontal last time. But
very poorly. But this time, you're going to be vertical.
I am going to be vertical. I've been working with the cabin girl. We've been sorting out all the decorations.
We have got Saucy and Busty, Roger the Cabin Girl, Sexy Mother Truckers, Crunchy Minstrel,
hey.
Poo-Tang, we've got Fanny Ann, we've got loads and loads of people coming.
Yes, you do not want to miss this one. It is going to be a corker. So if you do want to get on the guest list, it is filling up quickly, so don't waste any time. How can they get on the guest list, Mr. N?
You can get on the guest list by contacting us on that old-fashioned thing called email, naughtycouple, NAUGHTYCP1 at yahoo.com, naughtycouple@yahoo.com, or you can contact us on the Fab Swingers website if you're very naughty. On Fab Swingers, we are Naughty Couple, you should know by now, NAUGHTYCP1, Naughty Couple on Fab Swingers.
Awesome.
If you can't make it on Saturday the 14th, we've got other events, very good ones, coming up in July.
Yes.
So we've got another Velvet Vixens on the 4th and 5th of July.
At the Hotel Takeover.
It's another naughty hotel takeover. I'm sure our guest will tell you all about it and what it was like the previous one. And so we've got another one on Friday the 4th, which is open to very carefully selected single guys, single ladies and couples. And on the Saturday, it's going to be couples and single ladies.
Yes. And if you've managed to enjoy Mr. N's charades, you can look forward to some more of those, no doubt.
Let's not spoil it. If you can't make the 4th and 5th of July at Velvet Vixens in Worcestershire, we are back in Leicestershire at Liberty Elite on Friday the 11th of July for our Vegas Vixens event.
Yes, awesome.
We love Vegas Vixens.
We do love Vegas Vixens. We like to play the games. Love it when people win naughty prizes.
We just might have some more magic slippers to give away.
Are they the gold penis ones, Mr. N?
We might have some amazing magic gold penis slippers. I'm not sure if the budget can stretch to 2 because I'm saving up to buy my own prison.
On an island.
On an island in Scotland.
That you need a boat to get to.
That sounds like the ultimate disaster. So yes, Vegas Vixens on Friday the 11th. If you want to join, you know how to do it. Contact us on Fab Swingers or on email.
Yes. And if you're a single guy that hasn't been to one of our events before, then please contact us and we'll organise a verification video.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, July would not be complete without a proper 1970s swingers party.
Yes.
We never use the word swinger, ever. But this is going to be a 1970s swingers party, baby. Vanilla to Vixen is coming to the Purple Mamba Club in Nottingham. For the very first time, we are going to be with our absolute gorgeous friends, Chris and Amanda.
Yes.
This is a prepay only event.
Yeah.
So you've got to prepay and you can do that through the website Purple Mamba. So if you go to the Purple Mamba Club, just Google it and it will come straight up in Nottingham, the Purple Mamba Club, and go to the events section. And on the 25th of July, which is a Friday.
Yes.
Friday the 25th of July, get your names down, prepay, and we are going to be there. Vanilla to Vixen is coming to the Purple Mamba Club.
Do you know what I've just thought of?
Go for it.
While we were at the country fair, we were looking at some very nice velvet hats and things, weren't we?
Yes.
And you picked out a purple one and said,
I wanted to be Huggy Bear. Yeah, I wanted to be Huggy Bear.
Why didn't we get it? You would be awesome as Huggy Bear.
Because it was £125.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It was rather expensive.
I'm not paying £125 to dress up as Huggy Bear for one occasion.
Damn.
However, I am thinking of buying it just to walk around all the time.
You would look so camp.
What?
You would look so camp.
I would look like cool Huggy Bear.
So, it's that segment time in the show. This is becoming my favourite time of the week.
I'm already feeling a little bit queasy.
It's Fun Fact Friday with Mrs. Mother Trucker.
Fun Fact Friday.
Male giraffes will headbutt females in the bladder until they pee. They then drink the urine, tasting it to determine whether the female is ovulating.
Oh my God.
Are you all right? You've gone really queasy looking.
I've got to get this. So male giraffes headbutt the female in the bladder.
Yeah, to make them pee. And then they drink the urine to see if they are ovulating.
I think I'm going to be sick.
So you see, Bear Grylls isn't the first one to be doing it.
If anyone is thinking of taking their children to the zoo during summer holidays, I do apologise. If it's put you off your ice cream and stuff like that.
Oh, brilliant.
I can never go to see the giraffes ever again. That's totally ruined.
So that's the giraffes that have done it for you. The dolphins that are a bit aggressive, and the raccoons that get shoved up your
backside.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You can't say we're not educational.
Oh my God.
Shall we move on?
I think we better move on as soon as possible. Thanks very much, Mr. Mother Trucker. We're going to move on now to a segment of the show. It's the main meat of the show, and I'm really excited to meet this gentleman.
Well, you've already met him.
In real life.
Yes.
In real life, but the podcast isn't real life, is it?
No, that's true.
Podcast is like this cool, magical world of naughtiness. So we met this guy at Velvet Vixens.
We did.
Complete newbie.
Yeah.
Absolute, never done anything like this before in his life. Incredibly brave gentleman.
Yes.
Don my hat to him. And he walked through the door. He looked as confident as anything. We'll see if he really was as confident as he looked.
He was wearing a very beautiful three-piece suite.
Three-piece suite. He was just delivering it. He was just delivering it from DFS. He was like, people shagging everywhere. He's like, what's going on here then? He dropped the chair and just carried on.
You know what I meant.
We'll leave that in. We're not editing that out.
Oh.
So this gentleman, yes, he wore a beautiful three-piece suite or suit.
It's menopause. It's doing things
menopause
to me.
brain. And he was just absolute perfect gentleman. It was an absolute pleasure being in his company.
Yes, it was.
And let's meet him on the podcast, because we always get to meet people properly when we have them on the podcast.
We do, yes.
You get to really get to know them. His name is Stephen, and we're going to find out why he's joined the naughty hobby. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. N. How are you guys?
We're very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, I'm just sort of bank holidays just finished. Had a sneaky visit to Cams on Sunday, which was fantastic. So.
Okay, well, we'll ask you some questions about that in a minute. Just for our listeners, so we met you, how long ago was it?
It was it April Cates Hill event? It was the
hotel takeover, wasn't it?
The first hotel takeover.
It
Yes.
seems such a long time ago.
Doesn't it? There's a lot happened since then.
It seems like a lifetime to me, to be honest. And to be honest, I think I've experienced a lifetime in that time.
Just remind me, was it the hotel takeover where Mr. N tried to grab a load of single guys to come and do a bukkake on me?
That was the one. And, I think you referenced me on that podcast after as some guy who looks scared with rabbits in the headlight look, and that was me. I was like, scared guy. It was like, yeah.
Bless you. I'm so sorry.
No, it was a fantastic event. I mean, that was my first ever swinging experience.
Really?
So,
yeah, never done anything up until that point.
That's quite interesting. So, I mean, what inspired you to put your name down? Because I always think I take my hat off to you, my imaginary hat, because I'm not wearing one. But I do don my hat to any of the single guys. I've got so much admiration for all of you to actually put your name down, come along, because everybody comes along on their own. It's not like a pub where you go in groups and you've got people to bounce off of. You literally walk in there on your own. So for all our listeners out there, what's it like?
I was scared shitless, to be honest. I literally, I can remember texting my friend before I went in, sort of like saying, I'm shitting myself. And she says, well, they're like that, weren't they? I said, no, it's not a fetish place, it's a swingers place. Different genre. There's an overlap, but different genre. No, I mean, for me, it was first time I dressed up in ages. It was a waistcoat, suit, tie. It was a dress-up event, which I really liked. It kind of like gave me that summer ball feeling. So that was interesting. I can remember just sort of never been to the hotel before. I live near to it. I'm about £9 Uber ride away, which is very convenient. And I just remember turning up, standing outside, vaping for about a minute, just trying to calm my nerves, and then walked in, and then greeted by your lovely faces and your warm welcome. And it was. I was nervous. It was nervous. I mean, I did not know what to expect. Obviously, I'd seen that open house thing on Channel 4, and it was kind of like that kind of mansion-y type thing, but I thought, well, that's going to be very over dramatized and glamorized. It's not going to be reflective of I just went in thinking, well, what's the worst that can happen?
It's a great attitude. One thing I did pick up there, you said that you told a friend.
Yes.
Which, again, that's an incredibly brave thing to do, because you don't know how people are going to react when you tell them. So what did you say to how many people did you tell? Did you tell a few? Did you just tell one person?
To be honest, I've told a few. Most of my close friends now. My friends know me as that kind of very open, outspoken, dark humour type person who just likes to make and laugh and joke about anything. For me, I think there's a really rebellious side in me where if society deems something as not normal, I kind of actually want to go and experience that, because it's kind of like, it just brings out that rebel in me. My friends were really, really fun about it. I mean, one of my best friends, we'll call her Jay, she says, she's tempted. She's very tempted by the lifestyle. I'm still working. I'm working on her. But she's like, I'm living my life, my best life through you at the moment, with all your little stories and your things like that. And and I think I've got a couple of other friends that are doing the same. And I think sort of whether or not I'm boring them now with all my escapades, I don't know. But I'm loving it.
And how long was it when she went, what was it like?
Definitely the next morning. I think it was my other friend, one of my male friends, and I sent him a text the next morning. I just said, I've seen things. And we had a bit of a debrief. And I was buzzing for weeks after that first event. In fact, I could not sleep. I had insomnia for a couple of weeks because I was just lying in bed, just like playing through everything that had happened. It was just. Did it feel a little bit surreal? Bit like, I can't believe what I've actually, been involved in, or I've seen, or. Yeah. Because I mean, previously, things that I'd saw at that event, I'd only ever seen on my phone screen on my laptop, sort of lying in bed with a box of tissues. So to then see it in person, it was like, this is so surreal. And I can remember being very overwhelmed the whole night, chatting to some of the fantastic guests there. I mean, Saucy was fantastic. He gave me an amazing tour around. He, advice I've got given from lots of people is just downstairs, the playrooms, have a watch. There's no pressure. You don't have to participate. You can just soak it all in, and that's kind of what I did.
So how did it compare being there in person and physically watching what was happening around you, as opposed to watching it on your screen or something?
That's a good question. It's surreal. How do you even describe it? I mean, it's just like, it was overwhelming. It really was genuinely overwhelming. You know, sort of, I can remember going into one of the playrooms, and I think I was chatting to one of the other lovely guests there, and I sort of jokingly said, "Oh, is this a game of naked twist or something's gone wrong?" Because I was trying to count the legs and that sort of stuff, and I was just like, and then you just see lots of different things, and I've been to obviously clubs and events since then. I think, I've become immune to it. I've become immune to it now. I kind of like, yeah. I mean, I spent a lot of time at Cams with all my friends, and we were just looking through all the windows and everything, and we ended up joining in and that kind of stuff at the weekend. And but to go from it being like this, what is happening, to now just sort of like, yeah, they're having sex in there. This is fantastic.
You've got to do the trademark saucy. It's shit here.
Yes.
So would you say that the hotel takeover was a good introduction for you, rather than going into a full swingers club?
Perfect introduction. Having been to Cams and Extasia since, especially Cams, which is, I mean, I've only been twice now. I went last Sunday. It's still overwhelming. I think it's because it's so, A, it's like a rabbit warren. B, it's kind of, it's just it's dressed down. So you don't, from the offset, it's dressed down. So it's kind of, there's a lot to visually take in. And I took my friend there on Sunday, and that was her first time to the club. So I was watching through her eyes, that once again, that overwhelming kind of like, what's happening feeling. It's sort of, you know, what is this big room with this big circular bed on? It was crazy.
I always think what makes it different when you go to a dress-up event is it's just like a perfectly normal social event, isn't it? You just chat in like a bar, and this is what I say to people: if you want to come along. It's just totally normal in there, in the social areas. Yeah, and it's only then when you think to yourself, I'm probably going to see you naked a little while.
And I completely forgot about that side of it. So I was at that first event. I was enjoying having drinks. I was chatting to a lot of the vapors and smokers outside, and just going up to random people, having a chat with them, and everybody's really friendly. What I really liked about it all was the fact that how friendly people were, but how unjudgmental people were. Yeah. And also a very similar sense of humour, which it's kind of like, I found my people. I think it got to 10:30 at night, and I was suddenly aware then that, hang on, there's lots of people that are dressed down. It completely threw me off guard. I'm just then seeing everyone I just spoke to now in lingerie or pants or a towel, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is why we're here. And I suddenly sort of, this I remember now.
So did you give yourself kind of almost like I don't want to say an expectation, because we always say don't go with any expectations, but was there something,
any little goals?
Yeah, did you have a goal at all that night, or did you literally just go and?
Not a single goal. Go along and just get over that overwhelming sort of fear, that sort of anxiety of going somewhere new for the first time by yourself. You know, you haven't got a support buddy or somebody with you, and just experience and see what it's like. And that was it. So, and to be honest, it completely exceeded its expectations, and it was amazing. And that's why I couldn't sleep for the next 2 weeks.
And it obviously gave you the confidence to then go, right, okay, yeah, we could do a club now. You were totally ready for it.
Yeah, I then thought I'd go to Extasia a few weeks later. So I went up by myself, I think it was like a newbie night. It was Friday night. It was a newbie night. So
and just for our listeners who don't know, that's a very different experience to like Velvet Vixens, isn't it? It's a completely different environment.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's a nightclub, but yeah, it is a nightclub, but it's a completely different experience. And it's you kind of, what I liked about Velvet Vixens was the fact that it was obviously you'd sort of, I want to say select a guest, but you kind of, I really like the fact that 2 days before I was chatting to Mrs. N on the phone and she was vetting me to see if I was a single man. And and I thought that reassured, I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was really reassuring. And I say that to people when they're newbies, if they're interested in events, I say, well, look, people get vetted and they're trying to sort of get a certain sort of, people that are going to fit in or understand the scene and that sort of stuff. I think that's brilliant. I think going to Extasia, that was, once again, that was a different kind of sort of different experience. I didn't know what to expect. Although I can remember being more nervous about being on the karaoke than on anything else.
What was your karaoke song?
Common People.
Oh, brilliant tune.
And Friday I'm in Love by The Cure. I'd said to somebody, like, I just, once again, I went along, I just ended up just chatting to random people. I was chatting to this fantastic group of Welsh people, Welsh couples, outside for some time. I can remember going back into the karaoke room and sort of looking around the rooms, and then somebody said, "Oh, you're up." I'm like, "Well, am I?" I said, "Yeah." So now I'm singing. And then, it was great. I can remember spending the whole night, and then I was invited to playroom by one of the ladies from the couples. It was fantastic. I can remember coming out, going back out to the vaping area, and this sticks in my mind. There's a guy sat there, and amazing Welsh guy, the best sense of humour, so friendly. He looked like Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters. And I can remember sitting down in this Welsh accent. It's like, "Did you just fuck my wife?" and I was like, "Oh shit, how do I answer this?" And I was like, timidly nodding my head, "Yeah." And he was like, high five. And then I suddenly realised it. I mean, it was that lovely feeling, and we just had a chat, we had a laugh, and it was brilliant feeling.
I've got a question for you, Stephen, because we talked about this on the podcast. When you're in a couple and you're in the hobby, you get to debrief with each other. So when you go home, you've got each other to talk through your experiences, and obviously there's reclaimed sex and everything else. For a single person, you don't have that. How is it for you after you've sort of gone through this euphoria of sharing an experience with either a couple or something, and then you go home?
As I said, I couldn't sleep for a couple of weeks. It was just crazy. I've got my vanilla friends close friends that I chat to.
I think that's different to people that we've had on the podcast before that just haven't shared it with anyone.
Yeah. Whereas
you have had the courage to kind of go to obviously trusted friends. This is what I'm going to try.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I think it's kind of like this rebellion against the norms of society, for want of a better word, and it's that kind of where you think there's a stigma attached against something, and actually when you actually then try something for the first time and you realise that there's no stigma, it's just a different way of thinking, and I think that's just, I like that. I really genuinely like that it's just a different way of thinking about relationships. People are there for the same reason pretty much. But there's no judgment against other people.
You think back to sort of like nightclubs in the past where people would be naughty in the nightclub or naughty after the nightclub, but you lacked that social side, that social experience with that kind of liaison, shall we call it? You did, didn't you, in nightclubs? And this is so different because you've got that social connection first, and then the fun, the liberty, the freedom of it all. And I suppose that makes it so different.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's really important for me, that social aspect. I'm quite a sociable guy, so I love chatting to people, just having conversations. And when you get to know them, and then there's a play after, I think it actually makes that play a bit more special because you've got that connection with somebody.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that's one of the big myths, isn't it? That where everybody just throws their keys into a bowl.
Yeah.
Although we are thinking about a bowl in some sort of way for our Purple Mamba.
Yes.
I am looking forward to that event. I've got my ticket.
Have you got your ticket?
Fantastic.
So cool.
We are super excited, aren't we?
That is going to be you're going to be setting, standards. There's going to be the first vanilla to Vixen at Purple Mamba.
Yeah.
We are so excited. It's going to be mental.
I'm currently going through the process of trying to find a good costume. I think
I was just about to say, can
you
give us any little teasers of where you're going?
I am going with a pineapple theme because 70s doesn't suit me, but I found like a suit and tie with shorts that are matching with pineapples on.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Nice. I'm going to share with you, I am quite worried about Mrs. N and Amanda together. It's a dangerous combination, I feel. Anything could happen.
Oh yes, absolutely.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm loving the dress up side of it. At Cam's last Sunday, it was a masquerade event, so I went in I thought, well, I could just go in like a standard black mask, but I went with a massive gold mask, and I went for the gold boxer shorts, like literally metallic gold boxer shorts.
Oh, awesome!
Which I didn't think about it I didn't think about it until somebody in the smoking area said, "Hey, it's Kylie Minogue." And after that, it was I was doing the spinning around, pulling up like a thong, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, do you think? I know, obviously, you've only been in the naughty hobby for a short time.
Yes.
But do you think it has changed you in any way?
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's changed my view. I think it's. I mean, I'm quite unjudgmental anyway, but I think it kind of gives you that focus on actually. It's that lack of judgment. It's that full stop. That lack of judgment. I think you treat people differently. I think you're genuinely nicer to people through doing the swinging because of that lack of judgment and because of the friendliness and the supportiveness from other people. And I think it's such a nice community. And I'm loving the sort of all the Discord groups, the Telegram groups, and the connections you're building up, and some of the friendships I'm making is just fantastic. So now, you said earlier on, as a single guy, how do you debrief at the end of the night? Well, I've got a great connection of either single females or couple friends now that I can just chat to afterwards and just.
That is really cool.
Share the experiences.
Really good.
I think that was probably one of the biggest myths for me when we first went to a club was I had preconceptions of what swingers. I'm doing like little imaginary.
Well, in fairness, I think we both did, didn't we?
Yeah, of what swingers would be like, or what the audience in the club would be like, and it was nothing like it. And I think with Vanilla to Vixen, we've just kind of taken that to the next level, haven't we? We've just really gone for that social group of people, but without the clickiness.
Yes.
I think it's so easy to, when you go to a club and you've probably got a group of 20, 30 people that haven't seen each other probably for 4, 5, 6 months. They're all from different parts of the country, and then they all get together. And so naturally you get that excitedness that they want to share their experiences and things that they've done in the 6 months. But with V2V, we've always got that mix of newcomers. So there's always people there going, why did you come tonight? I don't know. I was shitting myself. Seemed like a good idea at the time. And it's just so wonderful as host to watch the mix. And then eventually throughout the night, you inevitably get the mix where the newcomers do sort of mix with our regulars. And that's the most beautiful thing. And I mean, we always say, don't we, that we've got the easiest job in the world because we've got the most wonderful crowd that come to V2V.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We've got people that know that it's not a task for them to go, we've got to to go and see the newbies, they love it. They genuinely love sort of finding out about new people and going, oh, how did you hear about this? And it's just, the conversations are amazing to listen to.
And you can see that when you have like a tour around the club for the first time, and you can sort of see people's heads turning. So they're like, "Oh, here's a newbie," but you can sort of see there's that intrigue in sort of like, "Oh, there's a newbie."
Yeah.
And I can remember feeling on Sunday, I watched this couple being, walked around the clubs being shown things. You can just see everybody's heads turning, thinking, "Oh, that's new people, new faces,
fresh meat,
fresh meat." Yeah.
Honestly, that's terrible. So it sounds like you've thrown yourself into this, really.
Oh, totally. I mean, I don't know whether it's I call it like my ADHD hobby, where I find something and I obsess about it for 6 months, and then I sort of like, oh, okay, then what's next? But no, I think it's weird actually, because I was actually diagnosed last year with ADHD, and I think when I reflect back to my life, I realised that it kind of feeds into, I suppose, how I've thought about relationships, and why I think this idea, this lifestyle probably suits that way of thinking more, because it's always that kind of sort of newness, new faces, new people. But you're then building up the connections with other people, but then there's no sort of necessarily that commitment that you get. It's you end up with, one of the best word, friends with benefits.
Yeah.
But I really like that friendship.
I get that, because I suppose even though we hold lots of different events with V2V, and we do get a lot of regular people, no night is the same. No,
not at all. I also think as well, because Mrs. N is convinced I am somewhere on the spectrum of ADHD.
Absolutely.
I'll be in the middle of something, go, oh, look at that interesting thing over there. Yeah. So to go to a night where you could just suddenly go, yes, okay, I'm tired of this now, a bit bored of this. Let's just take off my clothes.
Yes, or you'll be there chatting to somebody, he's like, oh, there's 3 people having sex.
Yeah, exactly. It is an ADHD person's dream.
Yes, and it's great just walking around, just sometimes walking around the playrooms and just watching the different experiences and the different fun that people are having, and then it's such a good feeling.
One of my favourites is to see sort of the elegance of everyone walking in, and then the pure dishevelment of everyone walking out at the end. And you can measure that by how good a night they've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, obviously my first event, I walked in like a sort of, shocked sort of newbie. And I think at the last hotel event where I met you guys, I think I walked in, I think I was really confident, really sort of like...
You were a lot more relaxed, absolutely.
Very relaxed. I bought Exchange X along. That was her first event.
Yes.
So I almost felt then I was passing that kind of, almost that newbie torch to somebody else. And then she's really sort of getting into that community spirit, really sort of reaching out to other people, finding out different things. We went to like clams on Sunday together, and it's fantastic.
That's so cool. She hit the jackpot, hasn't she? She's found a friend that's already gone in there and done the hard work for her.
Yeah.
Well, weirdly, we actually matched about a year ago on vanilla dating site.
Really?
No.
We matched on a vanilla dating site, and then for whatever reason, we never actually met, and we ended up in different sort of vanilla relationships. And I can remember, I think it was maybe around March this year, I can remember seeing on Fab, I recognise that person. So I just sent her a WhatsApp. I said, I've seen you on Fab. I know you. I remember. And we got this conversation. And it was just that conversation. She decided that she just wanted to sort of try that thing, but she didn't know how to experience it. I put her in contact with one of the other female friends that I met through the scene as well, who gave her really good safety advice, which was fantastic, all this amazing safety advice. There's a whole podcast on that. So I sort of said to her, because she wants to go to the club, I said, well, we'll do a club. Why don't we try out this V2B event first? I said, it's a really good starting place for this, because it's kind of limited amount of people intentionally. Yeah. There's lots of people that know each other, but at the same time there's loads of newbies coming in. There's going to be sort of games. It's beautiful venue anyway, that Kate's Hill, and yeah, just go and experience it. And I think she loved every minute of it.
What did she say afterwards at the end of the night when you were on your way home? Did she give you a bit of a briefing of what she thought?
Or was it just the quietness of taking it all in?
There was an element of quietness. I think she'd had a couple of new experiences at that night. I won't go into detail of that, but she had a couple of new experiences. And I think the same with Sunday. I mean, I messaged her last night, and she's still processing cams from Sunday night, because that's obviously her first club event, completely different feeling, and sort of, yeah.
I think I remember walking into the club, into the back room for the first time ever. And the weird thing was, I think when you see for me, it was when I saw the beds in the back room on the tour, and I'm like, that was my realisation. You talk about the realisation of, oh yeah, like when everyone was dressing down, it's like, oh yeah, I've suddenly remembered why everyone's here. For me, it was actually earlier on when we went on our very first tour, and I was really cool right up to that moment. And then I hit the back room and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you were. I think you were concerned of how I was going to feel about being in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was the one that was absolutely fine with it, and you'd gone a bit wobbly.
I know.
I think for me, it was when Saucy was giving me the tour around, seeing the beds, which I kind of expected the beds, but it was going into the dungeon, and I can remember seeing all the various equipment. And then I think I said to him at the time, I said, well, where are the weights? This is a little gym, isn't it? Because there's a bench, there's strappy things. It's obviously a little hotel, training ring, but apparently we know it's not the case. But yeah, and I think that was more of the kind of opening. That was then that realization that there's a kind of like, you have this kink overlap with the swing inside as well, and it was, yeah.
We never had that really, did we?
No,
because obviously at Liberty Elite, which was our first club, they only do the dungeon nights or the dungeon days. It's completely separated. It's completely separated. They do have St Andrew's Cross. I can't remember. That wasn't out even then. Back then, was it?
Not then. No.
All we had was the sex swing.
It was, yeah.
Which was pretty vanilla, I suppose, for a kink toy. Sex swing.
You want to try getting in and out of the damn thing, mate? There's nothing vanilla about that.
Compared to seeing like the St Andrew's Cross or something like that.
We hadn't experienced anything like that, had we?
That was pretty hardcore, I can imagine.
It's the same when I went to Extasia, I can remember seeing and the guy, the guy introduced me around. It's like, and here's the male glory holes, here's the female glory holes, and you come some there just like, oh God, these are things. Yeah. I forgot that. These are things that like you've seen on like, Carry On Camping and that. And wow, okay. No. Although those are the other films from the 70s, but it's.
I haven't watched that particular Carry On where they had glory holes. I need to renew my Carry On library.
They may have been cut scenes.
I missed the one where Sid James stuck his cock through the hole.
I'm sure there was a glory hole type thing in one of the Carry On films.
There must have been.
I'm sure it was in the camping.
I bet you there was. I bet there was some reference.
Yeah, there must have been.
So, Stephen, have you seen anything, the times that you've been to the clubs and things that you've thought to yourself, I'd like to try that, I think?
That is a really good question. Like the first event, and like any time I go to any clubs now, I've got no expectation. I'm going in with the expectation of I'm just going to have a good time socially. If anything else happens, anything else happens. And I don't then try and pre-plan or force anything. Now, I was very lucky to experience what I call a bucket list item with a sort of MFF threesome visit to Cams recently, which was mind-blowing experience.
I know guys that are still 3 years down the line that have still not done that.
That was my third event and experiencing something like that, and it was that was out of this world. That was just like absolutely, that was amazing. And I think it's just building up confidence over time. I think my second visit to Kate, so I had sort of like a play in the playroom. The third visit the last time at the V2B event, I remember sort of playing on one of the bigger beds with I think there were 5 other people, and that was a good experience. Cams at the weekend, like 4 of us just sort of on one of the beds with all the windows you could look through and that kind of stuff. And it was just, I like this. It was more spontaneous, that spontaneity of it all, and that not having that pre-planned expectations, and just enjoying it and experiencing it.
I think you learn so much about yourself as well. It's like, I couldn't have told you anything about my sexuality or my sexual likes and dislikes going into the naughty hobby as I can now. Like, I've discovered that I'm a massive voyeur, love voyeur. I've discovered that I love audible, sort of the naughtiness of just hearing sex and things. And I mean, you just learn so much about yourself, which is impossible to learn anything like that unless you've actually experienced things that we've experienced.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to, I only regret opportunities I've never taken, not things that I've done. And I think it's really important to sort of that, unless you've tried it for the first time, how do you know? You know, and it can be simple things. I've been in relationships with somebody, and like, you're trying to sort of, well, why don't you try this new food? Oh no, I can't try that. I don't know if I like it. It's like, yeah, but you haven't tried it. And I think it's exactly the same with swinging, maybe the kink side of it as well. Until you try it, you know, I was watching some people at Cams on Sunday, and there was a guy with this weird electrocution device where you hold on to this metal bar, and then he rubs things over your body, and you could hear that, and the women on it were having a great time. It was just, I thought that looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I had my first experience playing with 2 women and another guy, and that for me, that was a brand new experience, being that close to another guy.
Yeah.
While we're playing at this, and doing things at the same time to 2 different women. So, so I'm not going to discount anything until I tried it. And then I was like, oh, okay, I didn't like that. I know for next time. As opposed to, I'm not going to try that because I don't think I like it. It's like, I don't know, I've tried it.
Yeah.
It's a good attitude to have, isn't it?
It's very good, It's a very healthy attitude. I think there'd be a lot more happier people if everyone followed your...
Well, to be honest, I want to get, this is going to sound really morbid, but I want to get to my deathbed and having ticked off what I call the checklist of life of, have you tried everything in life that you could try?
Yeah.
That's legal. But, okay, fine, swim with dolphins, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Threesome with 2 women, brilliant. I mean, that's like, that's my number one. That's still my number one, it's like, yeah. But
I think nobody gets to the deathbed and goes, oh, I'm glad I saved all this money up, do they? I mean, what's the point of that?
Exactly.
How have you coped with navigating Fab? Because for single guys, from what we've heard before from other single guys that we've spoken to or met, it's a bit of a minefield for you lot, isn't it?
It's not. Yeah, I think it's it's hard, to be honest. I think going to the first VTB event massively helped, because I then ended up with some verifications, or as I say to my vanilla friends, reviews. And I keep getting asked, got any more reviews we can read? Like, yeah, here you go. But no, but it's I think then having that verification really helps, because then it gets you through a certain set of filters. I think building up that friendship group really helps, because then you can start seeing on the updates and that kind of stuff, and you can start reaching out to other people. But it is hard, and I'm not going to be like, having chatted to some single females that are on Fab. There are a subset of guys who will constantly message over and over again when you don't reply, or they'll then start sending abusive messages, or they'll just start off with, here's a picture of my dick, or they'll just go in without the hello. They'll just go in with sort of like, I want to eat you out so much, or I want to sniff your pants. And it's like,
if you've been opening my messages, honey,
well, it's true, Dan. It's like, I don't understand that mentality myself. It's just because it's let's call it a different form of dating app. It's a different form of social media where there's different expectations or different boundaries. pleasantries and respect should not go out the window in any way, shape or form.
That's so true.
Something that I picked up on that you said earlier on, which I thought was just for any single guys listening, this is absolutely top drawer, is you had a single lady and you said that you kind of put her in touch with another single lady who offered her safety advice and things.
Yes.
And that shows a completely selfless act, that you want her to obviously be safe, and you want her to have as much information and everything about the hobby of her going into it. And you're right. I mean, I described the guys that you've kind of described as thirsty. You get thirsty guys, and it's just this real selfish attitude, and you can understand it from an outsider's point of view that has no concept of the naughty hobby, or where sex is a selfish thing because you're going into it, you're not looking for a relationship. So, but it's not like that, is it at all?
No,
it's not like that at all. And what you described there as helping someone by putting them on to another lady, that's just like the best thing.
It's so important. And to be honest, the safety involved, because I was involved in a little chat between the three of us, and the safety advice was an eye opener for me. It's things like, if you're on Fab as a single woman, it's okay to say to somebody, can I see some photo ID if I'm going to meet up with you? It's okay to sort of say, I'm letting my best friend know where my location is, and this is my phone number, etc., etc. And there's all these different advice that came out,
I never get bored of having that advice on the podcast.
Not at all.
What you're saying, for anyone out there, is top advice.
Yeah, and just things like, when I met up with because I had a social with this other lady first before we had a play, and I arrived at the pub earlier, a meeting, and I sent her a text saying, can you get your drink? And she turned up and she said, look, I'll get me my first drink. I don't know you. We're meeting in person. I don't know what you could do to my drink. And I didn't even think about that until and it's just little things like that just like,
it's quite sad, and it's quite scary that the women have to think about things like that in this day and age. But unfortunately, it does happen. So
yeah. So I guess you could adapt that if you are getting someone a drink, you can order their drink and say, I'll pay your drink, you order it, and do it. So it's thinking of things like that. And you're so right, Stephen, in as much as you don't think about things like that until you're in the situation, or until you've seen it or experienced that. And so that's another great tip, isn't it? If you're a guy, and doing that can, I'm sure, make the female feel comfortable.
There should be no difference between meeting on Fab, meeting through the other swingers sites, versus how you'd meet somebody in the vanilla world in terms of how you treat them. And I would hope that that people aren't thinking, because it's swingers, we can treat people differently. It's the people at the end of the day. It's
absolutely.
It's respect intellect, respect intelligence. Don't just look at it as a banging opportunity. Try and create that social connections.
I think that's where the myth comes in, that if you're a swinger, you'll shag anything that moves. Yeah. From a woman's perspective, I know that if we play with a guy, there has to be a connection there. There has to be that level of trust there. I have to feel safe with the people I'm playing with. And I think a lot of people don't get that. They don't understand it, do they?
Not at all.
They purely think it's just an excuse just to have sex with as many people as you can.
You've got that understanding. When you're both in the lifestyle, you've got that understanding of what it is, what you're doing. You kind of know that there's a mutual respect there, generally. Yeah. Generally, between, people in the lifestyle, there is a level of respect. We all know, like you said, Stephen, why we're there. And it's when you get people on the outside that don't understand what it's about that I think problems can arise.
And I think it's really important to do your research first. It's I actually read a book which I mean, it was on one of the Kindle or on the other online stores, and it was basically swinging from a male perspective, single male perspective. And the message it gives off is, be respectful, be kind, make people feel safe. And also, what is the role of a single male when you're starting out in the swingers world? And basically, the book described it as, you're a stunt cock for couples and other people until you've built up your reputation, until you've got that built up allocation. You're just a stunt cock for other people. And it's like, okay, fine. And that's how I approach things. It's like, I'm there.
That's actually quite interesting you saying that, Stephen. I was having a conversation with our daughter the other day. And it's not a conversation we talk about a lot. Obviously she knows what we do and everything, but
she's over 18.
She is over 18, bless her, yes, but she's very much like, I don't want to talk about it. But she did say to me the other day, she says, Mum, she says, I understand why couples are in the hobby because of what the couples get out of it. Why do single guys do it? What do they get out of it?
I think for me, it goes back to that. I said the ADHD thing of that newness of that new experiences all the time. It's giving that dopamine hit every single time. The social side of it is absolutely huge for me. Meeting like-minded people is massively important. I think it's just, for me, it's just the different experiences and just being with very similar type people with the same sort of very similar sense of humour, but also with the way of thinking about things.
And sense of fun, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think sense of fun is a huge part of it.
Most I'm not going to say swingers, most naughty hobbyists.
Thank you.
I think have a tremendous sense of fun and freedom about them, that you can go and you can instantly escape the minute you walk into a venue like Cam's or like Velvet Vixens, wherever. You get that instant, just for me, it's a bit like a freedom. You can talk about things that you wouldn't dream about talking down the pub, and you find yourself sharing things with people. You think, why am I talking about this?
I don't know. My vanilla friends have heard it all anyway from me before I got into this. I'm very open and that sort of stuff. It's like, if there's a chance to make an inappropriate joke, I'll be straight in there with an inappropriate joke. But it's always interesting. I really do like finding other people that you think it would really like joining the community.
Yeah.
I was actually out on a vanilla night out a couple of weeks ago, and I was chatting to this guy, and I haven't seen him for about 6 months. And we're just chatting about random things. And I sort of said, what did you get to last night? And he goes, I was going to go to this club, but I didn't go in the end. And he says, you probably never heard of it. It's this club in Darlaston. I was like, I looked at him, I went, Cams? And he went, I said, I know, I've been there. And straight away then, he's a new single guy trying to get into, and we spent the next hour just chatting. I was trying to impart some knowledge and wisdom onto him. And
amazing.
That's cool.
Hopefully that will sort of, hopefully I'll start seeing him around the scene soon. He'll make a great addition.
Send him on his way.
Yeah.
He needs to come to a Vanilla to Vixen.
Yeah, Vegas. We can't. If he's single guy, Vegas Vixens.
Vegas Vixens, yes.
Vegas Vixens, yeah, or Velvet. We can do Velvet on a Friday.
Yes, yeah, we can do, absolutely. That's the thing I love about this community, because we've been at events, one of our events, where there was a newbie that came the previous time, and talking to a newbie that was there that night, and they were literally, I was you once, don't worry about it. And it was almost like, me and Mr. N, just like, we didn't need to do anything, did we? And it's just so lovely to see that community of everybody wants everybody to have the best time, whether that just be social or whether that be play or anything. And it's so lovely.
Yeah. And
Mr. N, you said earlier on about how you can't understand how hard it'd be for a single guy to turn up to this event by themselves for the first time. And I was chatting to a single lady at the weekend, and I don't know, it was a 6th, 7th event, and she made the decision to go to clubs by herself for the first time. I'd find that even more overwhelming, but as a single lady going to
I have to admit, I don't know how the single girls do it.
Yeah, do you know what, Steve? You're absolutely right. And I guess I'm looking at it from an inward perspective. Because I'm in the naughty hobby, I know how well single ladies are treated, how well they're looked after inside clubs. And you're right, whereas single guys, bless them, we know that they've got the harder job.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm looking at it from an inward perspective, but an outward perspective for a single female going there, that's incredibly scary. Incredibly scary, because you don't know what you're facing. And I've actually kind of just processing that.
Yeah, and I did when I was chatting to her at the weekend. It's like, I couldn't even get my head around that. You know, it's obviously I've experienced it from a single guy perspective, but a single female putting themselves in this world that they don't necessarily know about for the first time. It's like, it's like a lot of respect.
It's like that thing that you walk in through the door and you're thinking, okay, I'm kind of declaring here that I like free sex. And to go from like the muggle world, as we call it, to do that, to walk through the door, it's almost like, well, I don't want people to think I'm a swinger. Is it?
I know.
The very first time you're doing it, which is the kind of like hypocrisy and ridiculousness about it all. But you do, don't you? You don't want to be attached to any stigma. And it's ridiculous. It took us a while to kind of lose all that nonsense in the beginning.
Yeah, very much so.
I felt exactly the same the first time I went to Nando's. I didn't want that stigma attached to me going to a Nando's, like being one of those people with the cheeky Nando's. But you get over it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I will say, with at least single ladies have a lot cheaper for them. As a single guy, it's very expensive hobby.
It is.
It is a very expensive hobby. You're absolutely spot on, honey.
When you were talking about hobbies earlier on, I was thinking, well, you've not got to buy any golf clubs, but
you're almost on par with that.
Oh, very good. Very good. Almost as bad as my jokes.
Yeah, almost, not quite.
Yeah, it is pacing yourselves.
Stephen, can I ask you quite a personal question, if you don't mind?
Go for it.
So you said, I think...
6 inches? Is that the answer? No, it's not different. It's not, but anyway.
You know me so well. It wasn't that at all. Just going back to, you said you had a female, male thing at CAMS, was it? Was yourself and two ladies. Can I just ask you, what did you get out of that experience? How did it make you feel?
I'm very transparent about this. I take antidepressants. I have done for a few years. I went through a pretty bad relationship. The side effect of those antidepressants means that it takes me a long time to come.
Yeah.
But I get so much more pleasure out of making women come. That to me is like, it's going to sound really bad. It's almost like it's a very powerful experience to be able to then make two women come and have that shared experience. And it was a very essential experience for the three of us. I mean, the other two said the same, but we also had a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughing. It was just like people getting together, having a bit of fun, lots of sex involved. Was it one of those moments where you're back of the net? I remember lying back and looking up, and they got this like they've got these sort of mirrored ceilings in the playroom, and looking back thinking that's a lot of flesh, and I'm in the middle of it all, and it was just amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was just what an experience. It was genuinely a really good experience.
It's funny because it's like, I totally get what you're saying when, it is a bit of a power trip when you can make somebody come. And it's like, for me, it's the same thing. If we can make a man come, it's a bit like, yes, it's like, I've got the touch. I know how to do it. And I think that used to be really important to me in the beginning. Not so much for me now.
You just leave them high and dry.
Not at all. No, not at all.
Yeah, go for it.
But it doesn't bother me. Not that it bothered me before, but I felt like it was a bit of an end goal. Whereas now it doesn't, because I get to enjoy the whole experience. And then if there is no crescendo at the end, it doesn't matter because I still have had an amazing time.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember like chatting to those two girls, actually. We were in the playroom and we're talking about like when you're in a club situation, does a man actually want to come, especially if it's early in the night, or in case there's multiple players, you know? I mean, obviously for a guy, I'm not generalising, but for most guys, you need a bit of a gap, otherwise you're just shooting sawdust out at the after it's sort of a bit of hot air. But so it's kind of like, do you actually sort of not want to come so that you can perform later if there's another opportunity, or and there's that kind of then how far do you leave it? So to me, it's like I've got no. I don't come. I probably won't, but it's fine. That's not what I'm there for.
I kind of guess that's the difference between sort of home meets and club meets.
We've got a guy who regularly comes to Vegas Vixens, and we call him the connoisseur of the clubs. You know who I'm talking about, Mrs.
I know
N.
exactly who you're talking about.
And he'll say to me, Mr. N, he'll say, I don't like to come too soon because I've paid like 40, 50 quid to get in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to splaff it up the wall, whatever the term is, immediately.
Exactly. So at the start of this year, I was chatting to my doctor about like how should we start coming off the antidepressants, and now I got into swingers. I'm like, actually, I'm going to keep on the antidepressants because it keeps me up and go for longer. It's just like
every cloud.
For the first time, these antidepressants are like actually like a winner.
He's probably going, yes, but
just...
you're so happy you don't need them anymore, and you're going, no, keep them on.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be like a 3 pumps and a squirt guy again. It's just like, where's the fun in that? For those.
Yeah, exactly. I have to tell you this really random thing that happened. It was yesterday to us. We went to a country fair yesterday, and it was very posh country fair, wasn't it?
Incredibly posh.
Very posh. It was lovely though. We had a great time. Really good day. Walked our socks off.
Even people's dogs were wearing tweed. It was posh.
It was that posh. But we stopped to have food, and we went for some German sausage, didn't we?
Yes, Mrs. N does like a German sausage.
Yes.
Who doesn't?
The ketchup dispenser just tickled me.
Yeah, that gave you so much pleasure.
It was incredibly rude looking.
It was basically like wanking off a ketchup machine.
It was exactly what it was.
This gave Mrs. N...
Myself and Lady La.
I now realise, Christmas time and your birthday, I have spent far too long. I should have just bought a wank-off ketchup machine for you.
I mean, this is if these don't exist, like well, I say don't exist. If they don't exist on Amazon, this is an opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was definitely 6 inches or more, wasn't it? I'd say.
What the nozzle?
The nozzle bit.
It was a bit like a cow's udder.
That's exactly what it looked like, and you had to squeeze it.
It was like milking a ketchup
to release the ketchup, but it just felt really naughty. And yes, myself and Lady La were very giggly and stupid over it.
Yes.
Did you have to give it a cheeky tickle before you started?
Yeah, I did.
That's a secret to that machine.
It's just something that, amused me. So going forward, Stephen, is there anything are there other clubs you really want to go to? Are there like certain events that you really want to try out?
And bear in mind, there's like Camp Vegas now. There's all sorts of things. There's so many things you can try and experience.
Camp Vegas. I'm going to Camp Vegas.
Yes.
So I'm quite excited about that.
We will see you there.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
The fantastic Liberated voice.
Yes.
Excellent.
I think the Liberated Boys 90s event at CAMS, which I'm trying to fit my schedule so I can go to. Obviously, we've got Purple Mamba on the 25th. Is it?
That's right,
25th of July.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. And I think I might be down for one of the B2B events on this, I want to say 16th.
We've got Vegas Vixens.
In July.
Yeah,
we have
that's the one.
Vegas,
yeah, I think there's one that I've put myself down for in July. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
There's a new club there's a new club / bar opening up near me soon called PDI Lifestyle.
Last week
Last week,
we had the owners on.
We did.
And
Yes,
you're in good company. Bonnie Blue has just been to one of their venues. She's just been in.
She was in the media this week.
Yeah.
Wasn't she, bless her?
She got kicked out of the Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea. Mind you see, I defend Bonnie Blue. I defended her last week because I'm like, you know what? The girl's got her head screwed on. She's making money. She's doing good business. Good on her, you know?
Yeah.
It's up to her. I've got no judgment on what she does and how she makes her money.
No, and she gives a fantastic calming speech beforehand. It came with my TikTok earlier on, actually, about this. Bonnie Blue was giving us like this speech to all the guys beforehand, and it was just like, that's a motivational speech there. That's like, you know, some of our politicians could take advantage.
She has had a lifetime ban. I don't know if it's from the Nottingham Forest Stadium for doing a gesture.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yes. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other football clubs I'm sure she can go to.
I'm sure she can.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably won't come to my local football club because they're shit at the minute.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Come on, Bonnie Blue, we need all the help we can get.
Will it help the team, or will it just be a hindrance to the
It'll probably be a distraction.
Yeah, it's just like, well, guys, you've got 90 minutes out there. You're all just really tired and just walking around like you've been having sex all night. What's happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's right.
You could offer an incentive at half time. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah. Could be a
Just to get the
replacement for
half-time.
oranges, couldn't it? It could be something completely different. So I suppose the thing is, Steve, and I know you've not been in the hobby that long, but you have such a good attitude towards it all. You're having a great time, which is even better. For any new single guys that are coming onto the scene, what advice would you give them?
My advice would be get yourself to a newbie event like the B2B, sort of that, like a hotel takeover, that kind of thing. Maybe not at one of the bigger clubs, just because I think the bigger clubs they can be very overwhelming. I think it's nice to go into a place where you people know each other, but like an event, like I said, that Case Hill event was a perfect newbie event. I think try and keep respect, keep safety at the forefront of your mind throughout all of it. I think it goes back to this: treat others how you'd like to be treated. You know, would you like to get a message? And this happened to one of my friends the other day. She got a message on Fab saying, "Oh, you're a bit of a slag, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Hang on a sec. You're on Fab as well." I said, "Surely that makes you a slag, a male slag." I just thought, well, that's not even an insult. I mean, that's just what anyway. That's my little side rant.
Yeah.
So yeah, it goes, but yeah, just be respectful. I think try and join in some of these other community, you know, some of the Discord groups. There's plenty around. Build up friendships with people, and just slowly work on that, getting those verifications on Fab and on other social, the other sites, and just have fun and don't try and rush it. Just take it at a time, have fun, have time to process it, and go into these places with no expectations. Just go in with expectation of, I'm going to go and have a fun night. If I have sex at the end of it, fantastic. If I just gone in and spoke to a few people, made some friends, then that's an even better win, to be honest. Yeah. And that's I think that's the attitude you should go into, but keep respect and safety at the forefront of your mind.
That's awesome. But what a way to end the show.
It
Absolutely
is.
Awesome.
It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, my lovely. I know we've met you a couple of times now, but we've not really had long to chat because being hosts, it's difficult, isn't it, for us that we get to know you properly.
We like to make sure that everyone, we kind of flit around, don't we? We like to make sure everyone's having a good time. And we obviously, you were so confident when you walked in, although obviously your knees were shaking, but it didn't look like it from the outside. You put on a fantastic...
Yeah, until you scared the poor guy to death trying to get him to do a bukkake on me.
Well, you know...
Yeah, I mean, that was That was fun, to be honest. That goes back to what I said to my friend. I've seen things. It's like I can remember the last event. I think it was Mrs. N. You round up a group of guys for the charades and asked us to try and help people get some nymphomaniac.
Yes,
I do remember mounting you from behind and
you did
passing you on to somebody else.
The nymphomaniac. Charades. Nymphomaniac charades. That is going to be etched in my memory forever. Ever.
It was the charades was a very, very, very good touch. I've enjoyed that. We had a good laugh.
I had a great time.
I cannot wait to see what is planned at Mamba. I'm terrified.
Don't you worry, dear. Don't you worry.
Well, if there's not keys in the bowl, then I should be very disappointed.
There's definitely going to be keys.
There's definitely going to be keys in the bowl of some sort.
Yes. We're working on the concept.
Yeah.
And if there's no cheese and pineapple on sticks, then that's a massive
Amanda
failure
has
as well.
promised me there's going to be a hedgehog of cheese and pineapple. And I am currently sourcing some proper retro 1970s sweets.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I shall look forward to seeing you guys at some other point in the future.
As your journey unfolds, please come back on the show and tell us, things you've learned, things you've experienced, and what you're looking forward to in the future. Definitely.
Fantastic. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.